Saskatchewan still talk about Highway 20, especially the old stretch near St. Louis. Truckers, farmers, RCMP officers, most laugh while they tell the story until they get to the ending. Because almost everyone in the area knows someone who saw her. A woman. Standing beside the road late at night, barefoot, wearing a white dress stained dark around the stomach. She waves politely, quiet, cold. And if you stop for her, she asks for a ride home. That part is normal. The terrifying part comes later, because according to the stories, she never gets into the vehicle. She's already inside. The locals call her the Bride of St. Louis. Some say she was killed by a drunk driver in the 1940s. Others say she murdered her husband beside the river before hanging herself. But older Métis families around the area tell a different story. They say the woman on the road is not a ghost. She's bait. And if she appears to you more than once, something has started following you home. In November of 2007, a grain hauler named Eric Barnes disappeared driving south through Saskatchewan during a snowstorm. His truck was found 3 days later on a deserted road outside of St. Louis. The engine was still running, the headlights were on, his coffee sat warm in the cup holder, but Eric was gone. The only unusual thing police found inside the truck were wet footprints. Bare human footprints, leading from the passenger seat into the back of the trailer. Officers opened the trailer expecting a stowaway. Instead, they found something else. Every single cow inside had been mutilated, their eyes removed, their tongues missing, and carved repeatedly into the metal walls from the inside were the words, "She let it in." 2 years later, Eric's younger brother Nathan uploaded a series of audio recordings online. He claimed Eric had been investigating the woman in the highway before he vanished. Most people assumed it was an internet hoax, until Nathan disappeared too. The recordings were archived by users before the account vanished. This is what's on them. Recording 1. I'm making these because if anything happens to me, I want someone to know Eric wasn't crazy. Everyone keeps saying stress, sleep deprivation, alcohol. But I saw what he saw, and now it's happening to me. Eric first mentioned the woman about a month ago before he disappeared. He said he was driving late near St. Louis when he spotted her standing beside the road. White dress, bare feet, long black hair covering part of her face. She looked freezing, so he slowed down, rolled down the window, and asked if she needed help. She leaned down slowly, and according to Eric, she smelled like river water, not perfume, not mud, deep water, like something dragged from the bottom of a lake. She smiled politely, then asked, "Can you take me home?" Eric told her yes, then reached over to unlock the passenger door. But before she got in, a truck behind him blasted its horn. Eric looked in the mirror for 1 second. When he turned back, the woman was gone. Just gone. No footprints, no movement, nothing. The truck behind him sped around aggressively, and the driver screamed something out the window while passing. Eric couldn't hear him over the wind, but later that night he realized something. The passenger door was already unlocked. After that, things changed. Eric started hearing noises inside his house. Footsteps upstairs. Wet footsteps. At first he blamed pipes, the furnace, anything. Then one night he woke up because someone was standing beside his bed, not touching him, just standing there, watching. He said he couldn't move, couldn't breathe, and in the darkness he could barely make out long wet hair hanging over a pale face. Then she whispered, "You let me in." When he finally reached for the lamp, she was gone, but the carpet beside his bed was soaked. Recording 2. I didn't believe him, not fully, until I stayed over at his place. This was 2 weeks before he disappeared. Eric looked terrible, like he hadn't slept in days. His eyes kept darting toward the hallway while we talked. Every light in the house was on, every single one. Around midnight, we started hearing knocking, soft at first, 3 knocks. Pause, 3 more, coming from the front door. Eric froze immediately, told me not to answer it. I laughed. That he was screwing with me. Then the knocking moved. Not around the house. Inside it. 3 knocks directly above us, from the 2nd floor. Eric whispered, "Don't look upstairs." I asked him what the hell he meant. Then we heard footsteps overhead. Slow, wet, like someone walking barefoot across wood. Back, forth, back, forth. Then it stopped directly above the living room. Silence. And something dripped from the ceiling onto my hand. Water. Ice cold. Eric started crying, like actually crying. He kept whispering, "I didn't mean to pick her up." Then we heard a woman laugh upstairs. Quiet. Not normal laughter, like someone trying to imitate human emotion without understanding it. I grabbed a fireplace poker and went upstairs. I wish to God I hadn't. The hallway lights were flickering. All the bedroom doors stood open, and at the far end of the hallway, a woman stood facing the wall, motionless. Long black hair hanging down her back. White dress soaked dark around the stomach. I remember thinking she looked too tall. Her arms hung too low. Then her head slowly turned. Not her body, just her head. Further and further, until her neck cracked, and I saw her face. There were no eyes, just black holes leaking water. Her mouth opened, too wide, and from somewhere deep inside her throat, I heard dozens of voices whispering together, "Let us in." The lights died instantly. I ran downstairs. Eric was already outside screaming, and from the 2nd floor window, something was watching us. Not her. Something behind her. Huge. Tall enough its head nearly touched the ceiling. I only saw it for a second, but I remember its teeth. Long, human, smiling in the dark. Recording 3. Eric stopped sleeping after that. He started boarding up mirrors, said he kept seeing people standing behind him in reflections. Not strangers, dead people. People he recognized from town. A missing teenager, a farmer who drowned years earlier, a woman found frozen beside the highway in 1989. All standing behind him silently, wet, watching. Then Eric confessed something. The night he first saw that woman, he eventually looked in the rearview mirror, and for a second, he saw her sitting in the back seat, smiling at him, even though the doors never opened. That was when the dreams started. He dreamed about a river every night, black water, no moon, and shapes moving beneath the surface, hundreds of them. He said they looked like people trying to swim upward, but something underneath kept pulling them down. One night he dreamed the woman was standing in the river, only waist deep, smiling. Then she pointed below the water, and Eric saw them. Bodies, dozens, stacked on top of each other beneath the surface, all with their mouths open, like they drowned screaming. Then every corpse opened its eyes simultaneously and started climbing outward toward him. Eric woke up vomiting river water, like actual water. There was mud in his bed. Recording 4. The police won't tell people this part. But after Eric vanished, they found security footage from a gas station 20 kilometers north of St. Louis. Eric stopped there around 1:40 a.m. The footage showed him stumbling inside terrified. He kept looking over his shoulder toward the parking lot. The cashier later said Eric asked if there was a woman outside watching him. The cashier said no. Then Eric asked, "Then who's sitting in my truck?" The footage showed him pointing toward the parking lot. But then, when the camera turned, there was nobody visible inside the truck. Eric bought cigarettes. Then before leaving, he leaned toward the cashier and whispered something investigators didn't release publicly. I know because the cashier told me himself. Eric said, if she asks to come inside, don't answer her. She hates locked doors. Then he drove away. That was the last confirmed sighting until they found the truck. There's something else the police never released. When officers searched the trailer, one of the mutilated cows was still alive, barely. Its jaw had been torn open, and according to the officer who found it, it kept making sounds like words over and over. Behind you. Recording 5. I think it knows I'm talking about it. Things are happening now. Every night at exactly 3:11 a.m., someone knocks on my apartment door. 3 knocks, pause, 3 more. Always the same. I stopped answering after the second night. Then yesterday, the knocking came from my bedroom closet instead. I'm serious. 3 knocks from inside, and after the final knock, I heard breathing. Slow, wet, like lungs full of water. I called the police, but before they arrived, the closet door opened by itself. Inside, there was nothing except muddy footprints and water dripping from the ceiling. The officers searched everywhere. No intruder, no leak. One officer laughed and told me I needed sleep. Then while leaving, he stopped smiling because something was written across the fog bathroom mirror. None of us saw it appear, but suddenly it was there. In long dripping letters. Open the door. Last night, I finally saw her again, standing outside my building, 4 floors below, looking directly up at my apartment window, motionless. Her white dress moved in the wind, but she didn't. And around her, people walked normally down the sidewalk. Nobody noticed her. Nobody. Then she slowly raised one arm and pointed upward at me. That's when something moved behind her. Tall. Too tall. At first I thought it was a shadow. Then it stepped beneath the streetlight. It had no face, just wet black skin stretched tightly over a skull. And its body, Jesus Christ, its body bent wrong. Its limbs were too long, like a person drowned and pulled apart underwater. It crouched behind her unnaturally, smiling without a mouth. Then both of them vanished when a car passed. Not walked away, just gone, like they were never there. But when I checked downstairs this morning, the lobby floor was covered in wet footprints, bare human footprints, leading to the elevator and stopping directly outside my apartment. Recording 6. If anyone hears this, do not stop for her. I don't care how cold it is. I don't care if she looks hurt. Keep driving, because she isn't the thing you should fear. She's what comes first. I finally understand now. The woman isn't haunting the road. She's collecting people, bringing them something. And once it learns your face, it follows you forever. I haven't slept in 3 days. Every mirror in my apartment is covered, but I can still hear movement inside them, breathing. Last hour, I heard someone whisper my name from the bathroom. Then the voice changed. It sounded exactly like Eric, crying, begging me to open the door, but Eric's dead. I know he's dead, because earlier tonight someone sent me a photograph. No return address, no note, just a picture. It showed Eric standing beside a river at night, smiling. His skin looked bloated, waterlogged, and behind him in the darkness there were dozens of people standing shoulder to shoulder, all staring toward the camera, all soaking wet. And in the center of them was a woman in white, looking directly at me. On the back of the photo someone had written, "Your turn to drive." Someone's knocking again. 3 knocks. Pause. 3 more. Oh God. I could hear water running under the door. There's so much of it. I think something's standing outside. Yeah. Just my name. Not her. Something else. A man's voice. Deep, wet, and it sounds like Eric. The door handle is moving. Oh my God. There are footprints on the ceiling. No. I think it's inside the apartment. Nathan Barnes disappeared the same night the final recording was uploaded. Police entered his apartment after neighbors reported flooding. They found the entire floor submerged under several inches of black water. Every mirror inside the apartment had been shattered. Nathan was never found, but the investigators had discovered one final thing. Written repeatedly across the ceiling in muddy fingerprints were the words, "She brought us home." To this day, drivers near St. Louis, Saskatchewan still report sightings of a woman in white standing beside isolated roads late at night. Some claim she disappears when approached. Others swear they see a second figure standing behind her in the darkness, waiting. And every few years, someone vanishes after stopping to help her, usually without a trace, except for the water. There's always water.